Welcome to Movie Morons, where we like to pitch movies for some of Hollywood's biggest franchises. I'm your host, Jackson, and this is my great co-host, Holden.
Hey guys, how you doing?
That's his lovely catchphrase. Hey guys, how you doing? This past weekend was Christmas, right?
Yes, it was, as you can tell by our festive tree.
Christmas tree for our set here.
Yep, we're a whole week late for our Christmas episode.
We're a whole week late for our Christmas episode, but hey, better late than never, right? That's what I always say. And when you're late for Christmas, that's a real Scrooge move, which brings us to our movie pitch today. Holden, I've got a movie pitch for a Scrooge Christmas Carol, a Christmas Carol, as you will, starring a Scrooge-type character. Ebenezer Scrooge, it's starring.
Okay, so of course, as always, we know Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge, gets haunted by three ghosts, past, present, future, and then eventually gets into the Christmas spirit.
Exactly. And what would be a Christmas Carol without those elements?
Of course. Now, as always, I'm always forced to sit here and listen to some of your crazy pitches. Is this one going to be another crazy one, or is it going to be kind of a
this is going to warm your heart with Christmas spirit.
Okay.
So, first
off...
A whole week late. But, we're still in that...
I'm getting in the New Year's spirit
in that
now.
New Year's spirit, Christmassy. You'll have enough warmed heartness for next year.
Okay.
But with a Christmas Carol, you got to have a great Scrooge.
Yep.
You got to have a great Scrooge.
You got to have somebody really evil and mean.
Yeah, but then can turn around and show, compassion. That's why I cast Powers Boothe as Scrooge in my movie.
Ultimate movie and TV villain, of course.
Yes, the most evil man on movies and TV.
Yes.
Powers Boothe. And Scrooge, whatever he was, and, this is going to be a more modern-ish, it's going to take place now, not in the 1700s or whatever, wherever Scrooge took place.
Okay, so it's going to be 2015.
2015.
With Powers Boothe.
Yeah, instead of a hat maker or haberdasher or whatever Scrooge was, he's going to be the head, he's going to be a kingpin of crime in New York City.
So he's going to be like a mob boss.
Yeah, it's going to be
evil.
Yeah, he's going to be a really evil mob boss.
Okay.
So the movie starts out, it sets it up here. Powers Boothe is this evil mob boss. He's sitting back chomping on cigars. His maybe underlings come in. Maybe, drop little subtle hints about hey, maybe this year are we going to get Christmas off? Powers Boothe is like, no, we're not getting Christmas off this year. We got to have women on the streets. We got to have peddlers selling drugs at daycares or whatever. We got to have hitmen making their marks. Christmas is just a day. We got to have all our stuff going on.
I don't care any type of festive, spirit. We got to keep working.
Yeah, and they're what about the Christmas spirit, boss? And then he takes out a gun and he shoots that guy. And he's just like, Christmas spirit is just something that, Hallmark tries to sell you here. What we're doing here is real, guys. So that's how our movie begins.
He kills one of his guys.
He kills one of his guys that remarks to him about Christmas spirit. So what do you think what's going to happen when the ghosts show up? I mean, come on.
Yes, it's an obvious, precedent that you set early on in the movie that he really doesn't care about Christmas.
Exactly. He hates Christmas. And he hates his underlings.
Is he going to say bah humbug in the movie? Does he say, bah humbug?
Yeah, you know what? I think Powers Boothe could pull it off. Pull off the 2015 bah humbug.
Would he say something different, or would he still just say bah humbug? Maybe would you try to do, a new bah humbug? Yeah, he'd be like...
Yeah, maybe... Because this is going to be... It's not a movie, I would say. More like a...
Then what is it?
It's a TV movie.
Okay.
It's we'll probably go for maybe Showtime TV movie.
Showtime HBO or Showtime?
No, Showtime.
Because it's not good enough to be on HBO.
Well, this is the type of thing Showtime would have.
Okay.
Powers Boothe, main role. They're not going to give, movie budget for it, but a TV budget, for Powers Boothe here. So.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe you have or, the F word or something like that, because you'll be able to say it on Showtime.
Yeah. Will there be nudity?
Maybe.
Sex?
Yeah, there'll probably be maybe some nudity stuff in the background. Not at Powers Booth, obviously.
Well, nobody wants to see Powers Boothe naked.
But yeah, that's how it's going to start off here. But as any great Christmas Carol story, he begins to be visited by 3 ghosts. First ghost, the ghost of Christmas past, who is going to be played by Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci,
Okay.
who represents crimes past. He's kind of like an old-style Italian mobster. So he takes Powers Boothe on this journey. You know,
Now, is Joe Pesci somebody that he knows? Because sometimes they like to do them where it's like it's a character that they know. Because we all know from your favorite movie, Girlfriends of Past or whatever that movie was.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer
my
Garner.
favorite movie, yeah.
They were all somebody that he recognized. So,
No, I would say these are...
like Joe Pesci's a former guy that he like, his former boss that he whacked to get to where he's at.
You know what? Maybe it would be like somebody he doesn't know, but somebody he's heard of. Where it's like, you know, I've never met you, but hey, you're, you know, Jimmy the Bullfrog Toggins or whatever.
Yeah, that's a normal mob name, isn't it?
Jimmy the Bullfrog Toggins.
Yep. Okay.
And Jimmy the Bullfrog is like, you know, hey, this isn't how we used to do crime back in the day. Gives them a lecture. This is how we didn't do crime back in the day. You know, I remember all the mob bosses gave all their men Christmas off, things like that. And, you know, Powers Boothe is just like, well, that's why all the mob bosses are dead from back in your day, because nobody respected them. Nobody feared them like they do to me.
They were weak.
They were weak, and they let their guys have Christmas off, which I'm not going to do. And then Joe Pesci takes them, you know, and shows them some of Powers Boothe's own past. Mm-hmm. You know?
And what would that entail? Are you going to show that?
Yeah. It's going to be almost like a little maybe 10-minute like mob movie of like a young guy, young Powers Boothe, coming on a past Christmas. This is like 30 years ago. Past Christmas, you know, talking to his mob boss or whatever, who was his boss at the time, and then eventually planning to kill that guy and then killing him and taking his power. And,
Okay.
you know, we'd maybe get young Powers Boothe played, because we probably wouldn't do makeup. I don't think anybody would believe it.
Well, you could do CGI face, give him a wig.
Nah, this is
CG face.
this is showtime.
Okay.
We'd cast like Colton Hayes or something
Holden Hayes. From
from Arrow.
Arsenal from Arrow.
Arsenal from Arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on TV. He was in the Rock movie.
Oh, yeah.
He was in The Rock with
he was
Sean
with
Connery.
Sean Connery. Okay.
So yeah, you have a whole scene where Colton Hayes or whatever kills his mob boss or whatever, and eventually becomes Powers Boothe.
Oh, that's rough.
He had a rough 30 years. You know, just to show all the, you know, everything that's happened in that 30 years.
Very withered man.
So yeah, and Powers Boothe is just like, awesome! Yeah, this is how it needs to be. You kill your boss or whatever. I killed him because I killed him because I respected him, but I didn't fear him. So that's why I killed him, and now that's why I've stayed in power all this time, because everybody fears me. And Joe Pesci is like, fear's not everything, you know, and he does some Joe Pesci wise words or something like that. But they're falling on deaf ears with Powers Boothe. Powers Boothe is too set in his ways.
Okay.
Once Joe Pesci finds out that he's not getting to him, he returns him back to his office. Powers Boothe is like, well, I'm glad that guy's out of here, whatever. But Joe Pesci leaves him with, you're going to be visited by 2 more ghosts this afternoon. And he's just like, or whatever, or bah humbug, whatever he says. He'd go bah humbug or whatever. Joe Pesci would leave. Enter the ghost of Christmas present, who is going to be played by Danny Trejo. Machete. And he, you know, as Joe Pesci represents crime of the past and like Italian mobsters, you know, Danny Trejo represents the Mexican cartel.
Okay. Yeah,
You
so
know.
he's the Mexican
And again,
cartel.
he's somebody that Powers Boothe has heard of that is recently deceased. Like, you know, oh, you can't, you know, you're, you know, Juan the Tarantula Rodriguez.
It's usually not a Hispanic name.
It is Juan, isn't it?
Nah.
Spanish name. Okay.
Whatever.
Hector the Tarantula Rodriguez.
Okay.
And he's like, you recently died or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I did. He would sound like Danny Trejo, not like me doing a racist Mexican accent.
Okay.
But he'd come in and he would show him Powers Boothe's Christmas present. That's when we rewind to the scene earlier where Powers Boothe shoots his man, tells the other guys like, hey, I need you guys at work on Christmas Day. So, and then they leave. You saw a secret scene that we didn't see previously, where all the men go outside. You're already rolling out, Mike.
Of course we would see this in this.
I'm setting it up.
All right, go ahead.
They go outside, and they're like, that's when Powers Boothe finds out that they're plotting to kill him. That they're like, Powers Boothe won't give us the day off for Christmas. Well, we just kill that old man, take over his business, and then we'll give everybody Christmas Day off every year.
Everybody gets the holidays off.
Everybody's going to get the holidays. Maybe you have somebody out there and he's just like, not just Christmas, you'll get New Year's and Thanksgiving, Easter, the 4th of July. And people are just like, ooh, wow.
They're like, yeah. They're grabbing their pitchforks.
They're grabbing their pitchforks. And he's like, this is what we're going to do. And then, we zoom out before we hear exactly what their plan is. But you hear that there's some dissent in his business. They don't fear him as much as he thought. So he gets pissed. He's like, send me back so I can kill each of those guys right now. And Danny Trejo's like, that's not the way to go. I died because, I was too rough on my cartel men. And they turned on me and cut my head off or whatever.
Stuck it on a turtle.
Stuck it on a turtle and blew it up. So you don't want that same thing to happen to you, but there's still time. And he's just like, time, whatever. The thing is, they just don't fear me enough. I need to kill their families, and then maybe they'll respect me. And Danny Trejo's like, you're not getting it. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Is his name Ebenezer?
He is Ebenezer Scrooge. Okay. Powers Boothe.
That's a weird wild name, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, so is Hector or Juan the Tarantula.
Okay, Rodriguez.
So he returns him back. He goes back to his desk. He quickly goes ahead and grabs his gun or whatever, and it's just like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna show these guys,
who's boss.
Yeah, I'm gonna show these guys who's boss. The only way I know how, and that's through fear. And so, but then as he pulls out his gun, appears before him the ghost of Christmas Future, which is gonna look traditional Ghost of Christmas Future.
Like Death.
It's going to look like Death.
Like
skeleton.
from Scrooge.
Exactly. Scrooge, he had like that weird TV face. I suppose, just from any other Christmas Carol, he's just Death with the skull face. He comes in and he shows them through there. They go through a portal into a memory of Powers Boothe laying dead inside the room or whatever, and he's like, this is how you die. Your men eventually become enraged with how you treat them, and they come in and they kill you, and somebody else takes your place, Powers Boothe. Is this how you want it to end? Is this what you want the Ebenezer Scrooge crime family to end?
The Scrooge family.
The Scrooge crime family.
Don Scrooge.
Is this how you want Don Scrooge to go? And he's like, no, Death, this is not how I want to go. And he's like, when does this happen? And he's like, tomorrow.
And so does it cut to like the classic scene of like him stuck in like a grave or whatever?
Yeah, and then it cuts to his grave. You see his like wife, and she's just like, who cares?
Yeah, there's like really nobody there. Like maybe his wife's there just to kind of be like, I'm getting the house and stuff, and the family.
Yeah, the scene where his like wife and kids are just like, I hated him.
They all, instead of putting flowers on him,
they're spitting on his grave and stuff like that. They're like, he's finally dead. He tried to rule the household through fear and Powers Boothiness and evil.
Yeah, so they're all spitting on his grave, and he's like, no, and then it cuts to him, and he's like stuck in the coffin.
He's in the grave, and he's trying to get out. Then that goes to Christmas Future, comes back, and he's just like, but there is time. And he's like, but you said it's tomorrow. And he's like, there's always time. It's Christmas. Anything is possible. So then he returns them back to the, desk or whatever. He goes back to his office. He puts the gun down. He goes outside. He finds a boy, and he's like, find me a turkey. So then he eventually goes, he seeks out, his hitman and his, drug dealers and stuff, and makes it right. He's, pleads with them like, I know I've been terrible. You've started making your marks and stuff today. That's good enough. Go home. you get Christmas off, you got the rest of the week off, all the way till New Year's and stuff. And they're like, you really mean it, boss?
Maybe what you could do is, like, he's in his office already, and he's like, I need to, make things right. And everybody and all of his hitmen come in, and they're like getting ready to kill him. And they're just like, "Hey, boss, what's up?" And like they have their guns hidden behind.
Yeah,
their
they don't
backs
see
and
it
stuff.
yet,
And he's just like, "Boys, I was just getting ready to call you." And then they're like, "Yeah, we were just thinking of you a second ago, or whatever." I don't know. But then they're like, and then he's like, "Boys, you get I'm gonna give you Christmas off up until New Year's." And they're like, "Really, boss?"
Really, boss?
And they're like that, and they're like, "Ooh."
Yeah, they're like,
guns and
here
stuff.
we were
Guns
coming
and
in to
knives.
kill you. And you offer us Christmas off in the whole week? I mean, come on. I'm really sorry. You really are the best boss ever. And he's just like, that's just the beginning. This is a whole new Powers Boothe.
This is a whole new Scrooge.
This is a whole new Scrooged, people. We're going to be nice from now on. We're still going to be deal drugs and kill people.
Of course, we're still going to deal
But
drugs.
I'm going
sell
to be
women.
nicer to my people. I mean, full of the Christmas spirit, giving, happy. It's not all about money and all about me, power, and fear. It's about the Christmas spirit now. And then it warmed your heart at the end with that lovely message that even Powers Boothe, the most evil man on TV, can be filled with the Christmas spirit if you show that he gets killed later on that day.
Oh, yeah. Who would you have directed?
Do you have any ideas on the director? Because I couldn't think of one. Because
guess
for
since
this
it's a
TV
TV
movie on Showtime, you could get several different
You could
people.
probably get Scorsese. He's done some TV stuff.
Yeah, Scorsese.
I don't know. You probably just get like the guy that directed some episodes of Game of Thrones.
Wait a second. You got Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He did Sin City with Powers Boothe, where
Yes.
he was very evil. You got Danny Trejo in it already.
Yep.
That
Cutting off people's heads.
That would be great.
Breaking his son's hands.
Yep. Breaks some hands. Maybe Colton Hayes cuts off the head of the mob boss.
The mob boss.
The old mob boss, who would be played by, I don't know, the guy from Babe.
James Cromwell.
James Cromwell would be the old boss that he kills.
I don't really think of him as mob boss, but okay.
Hey, maybe you could play it. We haven't seen it. He might play an awesome mob boss. Where he's just like, that'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do.
Scrooge. That'll do.
That'll do, Scrooge.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds really good. It's probably your best pitch.
My best pitch. Yeah! All right, so that concludes our Christmas special pitch for Movie Morons. So let us know what you think in the comments below, whether you like this movie or pitch your own movie. Also, like and subscribe to our channel, because obviously we like that. And come back next week for some more Movie Morons.
Have a good day!